Hey guys, it's Tim from those one guys 758. Joined here with Kyle and Tommy. We're gonna talk about some stuff. It's banlist season, guys. So we're gonna give you our takes on what we think should be addressed, what can come off, how difficult some things should be addressed. Tommy substitute's not coming back. We're gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. Um,
I'll just you wait one day.
um, but yeah, let's go ahead and uncover the Discord pile this week and um, see what we want to address with the list. We took a week off for the holidays. We'll probably take another week off for the holidays when it comes to Christmas, just because that is a time for family. That's one thing that we do believe here. Um, so, how was your guys' last couple of weeks? How was your card experience before we take a peek at the ban list?
I haven't really played too much in paper recently, but I have been playing online. I had my not very good tournament with MBT.
That's right.
So for that Quarantine Series 11, didn't do that great with it.
That's right. What was your record before you dropped?
So I actually went to the final round. I went 5-3, but even if I made 6-2, like final round, it was possibly the bubble. But the person that beat me was only like 2 or 3 places behind me to start with, and he still came in like 23rd place. So even if I had won that one, going 6-2, I wouldn't have made it.
What did you play during that?
So first round, it was actually a tragic loss
Well,
to
n-
Grand
n-
Majustan. Oh, what was I using?
yeah, yeah,
I was using VW, the same as the list that I had on the channel previously.
right. You saved all your replays, so we can throw up a little video montage of your games, so they can take a peek at everything.
Yeah, we actually can do that. I could probably put that up as the background for this video.
Well, we're gonna use the list here that Kyle so graciously has up on the screen. Um, so with the ban list, it says no sooner than December 15th. I think they're gonna use the remote duel extravaganza that had just recently happened with Konami as their basis for the ban list. Um, I believe Dinosaur had won that. With if you want to go ahead and bring up the remote duel extravaganza, um, with Dinosaur winning both remote duel things that Konami had done, it has to be addressed.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. So what I think they're going to do for dinosaurs, at least, I don't think they're going to ban Misk. I think hitting Misk to 1 will actually be pretty effective. It'll still make the deck playable, but it will make it a lot less consistent. You're not going to open those hands where you have a way to have Misk and
that was
Oviraptor
that
on
was
the
the
field.
first one. That wasn't the extravaganza.
Uh,
Um, so before we even talk about just the main decks, just the process in which Konami is going to address the ban list using the extravaganza, um, in the remote duel invitational that they held. It's it. I don't know if I like that. Addressing what we talked about in the second episode of the Discard pile. I wish Konami would look a little bit into some of these online tourneys that are not Konami sanctioned,
all
stuff
right,
that's
so I know that recently they've had that practice, but honestly, I suspect that they're probably going to lighten that up a little bit. Like the longer we're in quarantine, the longer that we're not holding that many actual tournaments from to get results from, I think they're going to be a little bit more lax on it and actually trying to address the ban list and fix the format.
yeah. So overall, before we talk about our things on the list, what do you think of the current format? Seeing how this is the first one that you've had back, do you think it's
Um,
an easy format? Do you think uh, it's an aggressive format, more controlly? What's your take on this format, Tommy?
so originally when I came back, I was really aggravated by the format trying to learn it because it seemed like pretty much it was just Dragon Link. It was only Dragon Link, a little bit of Eldritch, and that was pretty much all I was seeing. Um, Recently, since the virtual worlds and stuff came out, it actually feels like it diversified the meta. Like, I mean, yes, Zodiac and the tournaments have been kind of cool and crazy, but short of the Zodiacs and the Zodiac Eldritch variants, like we're seeing a pretty even split among like Dragon Link, Infernoble, Dinosaurs, Virtual Worlds. We're even seeing things like Unchained that are getting a chance to try to come back because they prey on the Zodiac deck. Like it's just it feels a lot more diverse now than when I originally came in a few months ago.
Right. It's funny that you mentioned Zodiac. Last night we attended our locals here in Columbus. It was only 4 players, so it was really just a round and a half. Kyle and I had gone, and I was playing Dogmatica Dinosaur, and I 2-0'd Zodiac. It was just pure, it wasn't Outletch, so that may have been something that I had in my favor. But Kyle, what do you think of the format so far between the last ban list and what we're getting ready to come into?
Now I see it's diverse. You have Dragon Links, Infernobles, Outlets, all variants, which is what, 3, 4 of them. Invoked, then Dogmatica invokes, uh, Virtual World, Zodiac, Zeus, yeah.
Yes.
Did we
That's
mention Zeus? Did we mention that yet?
well, it is going to be something that is that requires mentioning. I like Zeus Diak as a title. That's quite nice. I feel that the format is entirely based on winning the die roll, more so than it ever has been in the past. It feels solely like you can't build a blinding second deck and hopes to be able to compete in it. It just doesn't feel real. You know what I mean?
See, here's the weird thing for that, in my opinion. Like when I was playing, 6 years ago, it was a lot slower format. And obviously,
You also had
well,
first turn draw.
yeah, you also had first turn draw. So going first, like there really weren't any go second decks. It was go first all the time. That was it. There was no choice. That being said, when I came back and I saw all the go second cards out there, like Dark Ruler No More, stuff like that, like I was like, those are super busted. And I still think they're really strong, but like it just balances out. Like if those weren't in the format, like if those cards did not exist, those go second cards, it would be a ridiculous format. Like there would be no chance. It would be literally, if you go first, you will win the game.
So let's go ahead and take a peek at not necessarily a full breakdown. If we can find maybe a pie chart of the extravaganza list, or maybe a listed breakdown, just to take a peek and see uh, what exactly did top 16.
Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to the results of that extravaganza. Like I probably should have.
Like it's so hard to find actual result lists for.
Yeah, like there were so many smaller tournaments, like the little Winnamats and stuff going on that you're not going to really see any results from. That
All
like
right.
it just seemed kind of hard to try to parse through everything.
Well, we'll cut this part out and we'll just go to the ban list part. So let's take a peek at the ban list. Currently, we'll take a look at what's banned, what's limited, what's semi, and see what can be addressed before we go to put things on here. Does that sound like a plan to you guys?
Yep, I'm okay with it.
All right, so looking at here, we missed the entire Astrograph Sorcerer heyday, so I don't know too much about that card. If you want to click on where it says link, it'll bring up a picture or the database right there at the end of the card line.
So MBT actually just recently did a small tournament where he did a video where he just went through and like unbanned a shit ton of cards.
Right.
And there was a lot of controversy. He ended up like scaling it back a little bit because he unbanned certain cards in his list that just were insane and he didn't realize it. But then he held a small tournament to prove, like, just to show, because like there were certain cards that did get banned, like Link Ross was banned in this format that he made and stuff. But there were so many unbanned cards. Astrograph was to 3 actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran the tournament, and it was only like, I think there were only like 8 or 16 decks. I think probably 16. I don't remember. And the top 4, funny enough, was Dragon Link, Infernoble Knight, Virtual World, and a Chaos like Thunder Dragon deck.
Oh goodness. If you unbanned Colossus,
Well, it didn't even have Colossus in the deck. Like he didn't unban Colossus. It was just like I'm pretty sure I don't even know what it ran that was changed from the list. It might have just been a normal Chaos Thunder Dragon deck.
Mm.
But those were the top 4 decks out of all the supposedly broken one, like Empty Jar and all these like Dark World Danger FTKs and stuff.
Yeah. So Kyle, right there where it says link on the far right column for Astrograph Sorcerer, go ahead and click on that so we can take a peek at his effect because I'm not familiar with it. All right, yeah, going off just the pendulum effect, I can see exactly why that's banned. It just immediately does nothing but filter through the deck. So I don't think that's something that could come back, especially not right now. Even though pendulums are kind of handicapped based off of the master rule that we're in, I don't think Astrograph could come back. I believe the 2 Blackwing cards that are on there are there for combo decks. Something that will probably never come back, at least
Okay,
until.
so the page that's up right now generally serve rituals.
Yeah,
The
you can.
4 Drytrons were announced. I honestly would have controversially said Gen Releaser 2-1.
So I guess this card almost put Necros during its time in a tier 0 state.
I wouldn't even run it with Necrons. Like obviously that would probably be one of the big ones it's ran with. I'd just be running with Herald. Whew.
But yeah,
I-
so I
What do you
believe.
think's gonna come off the lists? Like,
All right, so if we're looking
I
at
don't-
just the effect monsters, stuff
Yeah.
that could come off the list.
I made a small list of things that I think would be interesting to see off the list and that are likely.
If Needle Fireball comes off, a lot of the tunnels could come back on.
Dude, I'd love to have Blow Up Ball back.
Bob, Justin Clone could come back.
So Masterpiece actually made a showing in that in MBT's thing and didn't really do that much.
Yeah.
It seemed very unimpressive.
Well, I have a feeling Magical Scientist is going to come off the list because he is
No way.
listed as that in Genesis Impact, I believe. I think he is getting reprint in that.
Unless it's edited, he's not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
come back.
Oh yeah, no, it'll be a hard once per turn because it's an instant fusion. Going alphabetically down there, I honestly don't see why Cyberjar is still on the list anymore because outside of Guru, setting a monster is not a good thing anymore.
No, I don't think Cyberjar is coming off. It's really annoying to like reset the game state, and I just don't think they're going to go in that direction.
Well, Fiberjar won't.
Redox will come back.
No,
I think Redox can come back.
No.
To make Adamant Fatal competitive again.
No, Redux cannot come back. Oh god. If any of them come back, Blaster can go to 1 and it'd be fine.
No.
I don't know. I say bring one of each back. Let's just see
Because
where
they
that takes
brought
us.
the Wind one back.
Yeah, but Tempest is garbage. Yeah, I think because it targets a monster and it destroys the target. That's its discard effect. It could be used ideally in Salad, I think.
Well,
Going down.
All could be played in decks currently.
Right. Well, Dandelion will never come back. Not for the foreseeable future in my eyes.
August Hop could come back to 1. Go to 1.
It only needs 1 in the deck because of the recycling power of that.
See, I would agree with that. Harp Horror coming to 1, except I'm super annoyed by the Orcus deck. Fuck that deck. All right, let's not make that any more. Like I just don't want to play against it. The more popular it becomes, the more I have to play against it, and I don't want that to happen.
You didn't even play it when it was big.
Yeah, and I for some reason, something about the deck just annoys me to play against.
So Level Eater, I don't think could come back. There's too many plays that can be done off a Level Eater. Grinder Golem was banned for combo decks. It's probably not going to come back. I don't think you'll ever see Fishborg again because it's a tuner Tommy. So it'll probably until Halky Firebrex is gone, it'll probably never come back. Not familiar with the Magispector cards. O-Lion is going to stay gone as long as Halky Fibrax is the thing. Probably same as Mind Master. Not familiar with the Performa Mage cards that from that Pepe format, I believe. Samsara Lotus, I believe, was due to an OTK combo. Same with Tyrant Neptune.
Yeah, it was some sort of FTK, OTK thing. I don't know.
Right. This is one of, before we get to the extra deck cards, this is one of the big scary topics when you talk to Yu-Gi-Oh players is Max C. There's an entire episode that could be dedicated to this one card, but in Cliff Notes, I feel, especially with the way the combo decks are now, with I'm going to summon 47 times, I'm going to set up 17,000 negates, and I'm going to have a floodgate where you can't special summon. I feel that Maxi can come back. It is an equalizer to those combo decks.
So I personally would like to see Maxi come back. Just because I like slower formats. I want to be able to slow it down and play some of the grindier control decks. I'd like to see it come back just as a test. Just bring it back to 3, see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, just reban it on the next list or even possibly do an emergency ban. But I just think it'd be nice to actually see what that would do to the format.
What's your take on Maxi, Kyle?
Oh no, Kyle died. He was so overwhelmed by the thought of Maxi coming back that he just collapsed right there.
No, I'm a fan of Maxi.
His reboot finished.
No, he was just sitting there. He's like, all the things I could do with Maxi, and like he couldn't speak.
Maxi with Autogeist.
Right, he's just like, I wouldn't have to spoofing into Concurry. I would have it already.
No. One card Autogeist needs is a E-Telly type card.
They have that. It's called Altergeist Multifaker.
No. I need to E-Telly into Multifaker.
You have that. It's called personal spoofing.
No.
I mean, you have a lot of search, Kyle. Just calm down. All right. You just need more floodgates. That's all you need.
Nothing I can do on turn 1, Willie.
Speaking of floodgates, I think Thunder Dragon Colossus could go to 1. That would be that would breathe life into that deck.
Well, the only problem with Thunder Dragon Colossus, like I wasn't around for it, but from what I've looked up, it's the problem isn't the fact of the Thunder Dragon deck. It is that it is splashable in other decks. Like you can splash a small engine. It would be kind of like running like Dragoon. Dragoon is just splashable if you want to run the cards in almost any deck.
All right,
and I feel like you could do the same thing with Colossus.
You limit Thunder Dragon Roar, ban Thunder Dragon Hawk, Colossus can come back.
So what you're saying is kill the Thunder Dragon deck, but make other decks potentially still able to splash it.
Yes.
Good idea.
Hey man, that's what I do. So we missed the Fire Dragon days. We came in right after it was banned, but I guess it was it opened the door to big degenerate OTK plays with Cannon Soldier. So decks like that need to stay gone. In my eyes, I don't think it's going to ever come back, at least for some time. I am quite happy with Guard Dragon Agripane staying there. There's no reason you need to cheat out extra deck monsters without making them for the cost of one rocket tuner.
Yeah, that's probably gonna stay banned, and then LP's probably gonna get banned as well.
Yeah, the Dragon Link deck in a whole has to be addressed because it's a 1-card engine.
All right, so for Dragon Link, like right now, it's really powerful. Like I feel like it's just underrepresented just because people are tired of playing it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it'd be too hard to hit it enough that it's not going to be super oppressive. Like if you take out LP, there's a good chance that the deck just it'll be slow enough. And like possibly Link Ross. The Link Ross discussion is kind of separate though, because that hits a lot of decks.
I think if Link Ross gets hit, then a lot of decks are going to get hurt.
And like the Dragon Link deck can still build a board, but it's going to be much smaller. It's going to be probably more revolving around Dragoon. So you're going to end up with like Dragoon, Seal, and maybe like probably not even a herald. I don't even know what else you'd end on. Dragoon Seal and something else.
Right. So Arc of Pain, Tommy, what does is it's the guard dragon deal, but it cheats out a dragon from the extra deck. So it opened up plays to play the Odd Eyes fusion. Um, you tech in Dark Worm and the gate. Um, it made for upsetting plays.
I mean,
So
honestly, most things that cheat out cards from the extra deck, I'm kind of against. So yeah, that doesn't bother me keeping it on here.
right. Electromite will probably come off the list because of Metal Foe support that's coming out and the next side set after Genesis Impact, I believe. So that'll probably come back to boost sales for that. I didn't think it was a problem in Pendulums, honestly, because Pendulums was a little bit more predictable. Granted, that's one of my Kryptonite decks. I don't know what to do against it. Every time I just get lost.
You just keep their scales clear. I mean, that's basically it. Twin twister their scales when they play the second one.
Right, you just flip up anti-spell fragrance and they can't do anything.
That works too, yeah.
I guess Nightmare Goblin enabled plays a lot for either extra linking or OTKs, so it's probably
it's just a free summon.
yeah. So it's probably not gonna come back anytime soon.
Yeah, it's just a free normal summon.
Yeah, and outside of playing an inherent neg one like double summon, it's not gonna come back. That thing will not come back because it is a +2.
Ib.
Yeah, it's a generic level 5 +2 monster. It's not going to come back. Plus, it's a tuner.
Yeah, that seems pretty busted.
Yeah, it gets you World Legacy Guard Dragon out of the deck, and then you can ditch it to special summon a World Chalice monster. Yeah. Nightmare Mermaid will not come back unless Orcus Nightmare is gone. If Orcus Nightmare, for some reason, were to ever get banned, then they'll probably consider bringing out Nightmare Mermaid. Gumblar,
yeah, which isn't going to happen. Nightmare is just not that big of a deal.
Right. Gumbler Dragon's probably going to stay gone because Konami doesn't like hand looping for 6 on a consistent basis. They're so far okay with the hand looping of 1 or 2 until Smoke Grenade gets banned. Summon Sorceress is going to stay gone for good reason.
All right, so what's up with Ancient Fairy Dragon?
There's a lot of OTKs.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I'll have to look into it. Like, I just feel like Ancient Fairy. I'd like to see it back at 1, but also Mystic Mine. Like, I feel like it would be bigger in like a Mystic Mine deck where you just can search out your mine whenever you want. But there might be some OTKs involved that I just don't remember.
I think they're more recent. I don't know anything about the Yang Zing deck, so I can't speak on Denglong. Tempest Magician was banned as a precaution for OTK decks. Moving down to the Exceeds, I'm all for the Lavalval Chain coming back. It can come back to 1 and be perfectly acceptable because, it's fair to stack your deck however you want.
I kind of think I'd be interested to see Tomahawk, or not Tomahawk, what was it, Shockmaster coming back.
Dude, if Shockmaster comes back, I'm going to be so upset because I just sold my Ultra Rare.
I mean, just think about it. So, like, it's detached material, declare a card type, and those can't be activated, right?
Right.
Now, you know how busted that'd be in Zodiac?
You know how busted
it wouldn't be busted at all in Zodiac. Zodiac doesn't summon that many level monsters. Like, you get one normal summon, maybe a special summon.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a way to...
Not Zodiac. There's decks that can abuse it, sure. Zodiac is probably not one of them.
It'll make Harpy Lady tier.
Yeah, Hobby Ladies, which was big when this first came out too, wasn't they?
I think so because around the same time they got a lot of support in Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. So going back to I am all for Shockmaster staying on the list simply because I no longer have one. Tomahawk was banned for enabling link climbing. Plus it's a level 7. It's too easy to get out. Rongominiad was a part of the same Gumbler Dragon things, and so it was before our time. I don't remember Dark Matter Dragon. Yeah, I do. I think we played against it in our time. I think it was something. It was like an Azathoth.
Okay.
You can send 3 dragons from different names from your deck to graveyard, and your opponent banishes 3 monsters from their deck. Yeah.
So it gets 2 attacks and sends 3 dragons from your deck. Like that's pretty big.
At the same time, banishing 3 from your opponent's deck. Yeah, that's gonna.
Well, the banishing 3 from your opponent's deck isn't that big a deal, but being able to send 3 dragons from your deck, that just opens up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it's a level 9. It was played a lot with the Phantom Knight stuff because they could cheat out that rank up card. Azathoth should stay banned. That card should never come back. It's like VFD, Tommy, but like 10 times more oppressive for the opponent.
Okay, well, how can I abuse that, and when are we bringing it back?
Never. Okay. Basically, your opponent can't play cards.
For the rest of that turn? But
Yeah.
you can probably summon it at quick
Yep.
speed, I would assume.
With the you use Time Thief Redoer and you use a whole bunch of Phantom Knight stuff to get out Rusty and then set the quick play rank up from your deck.
Oh man, and you could detach 1 to destroy all cards. Okay, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that card is a plague and it can stay gone.
That I'm surprised they even made that. Like, who just looked at a card like this and was like, that seems fair?
I mean, you just can't activate monster effects. I mean, that is a positive, but
it got really big. This guy out of nowhere. What started the Lunalight craze was this guy from Europe who came over to America and won a YCS with Lunalight before. Like he was the big reason for it because it was Lunalight Turbo.
I've never looked at a Lunalight card. I have no idea what it does. I know they're Beast Warriors. I think they're Beast Warriors, and that's all I know.
See, some people think this card can come back to 1. I don't think so.
I think it can. So here's the thing. So surprisingly, it came up in like the MBT tournament because they were running Mirage Stelio at 1. There's a certain part that you probably don't read very much, but it says also you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of this turn except fire monsters, which if turn 1, not a big deal. Turn 2, that actually prevents you from going into the access code OTK.
Yeah, but you go
if you use
class him in Burning Abyss.
They're all Earth.
Burning Abyss is file, aren't they?
No, they're not file.
No,
they're Earth.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
I thought they were
PK file, and the Earth, yeah.
Zodiac Broadbull is probably good that it stays gone. I think Zen Mighty could come back to 1. I don't think the game is at a point to where that hand loop would be relevant anymore.
Yeah, like I think that'd be fine. Bring it to 1, maybe even 2, just see where it goes.
Yeah.
Wind up, this one come back to.
Brilliant Fusion is going to stay gone because it just sets up too many plays.
Most of the spells are all going to stay gone.
Yeah.
Spells are
right.
Maybe engage to 1.
Yeah, engage to 1 would be fine.
I don't know. Honestly, like I don't see what the big deal of Heavy Storm is. Like we're bringing back Feather Duster. We have so much back row hate. We have Lightning Storms. Why not Heavy Storm?
Artifacts.
Yeah,
who cares about artifacts?
Premature Burial is probably very good that it stays on the list. I think Snatch Steal is good on there. Yeah.
So I do think Engage. That was one of the ones I made note of earlier. I think Engage can come back to 1.
Mm-hmm. Looking at the traps, I think the only one that can come off is maybe Emptiness.
No, let's bring all of them off.
All right, yeah.
Royal Oppression to 3. Let's do it.
We all know you want a self-destruct button.
Honestly, like I kind of do.
No, with Mystic Mind, no.
All right, so let's go to the Limitless and immediately dress the monkey in the room. The left arm of the Forbidden One can go to 3. Everything else can stay at 1.
I agree.
All right, done. Armageddon Knight needs to stay at 1. The Baby Dragons need to stay at 1.
So I made note. I think it would be interesting to see each of the dangers that are limited to 1 brought to 2.
Well, they will at 2.
Yeah,
they went to 1.
They were at 2, and it's nuts.
I want to see them back at 2. All right.
I'd like to see Pankratops go to 2.
I think Gen X Allied, but man could go to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, I don't think that would be too oppressive. I mean,
Yeah.
people aren't even running it as at 1.
Right. I think Dynamite can probably go to 2.
Night Assailant.
No,
What is Night
no.
Assailant?
If you discard
Yeah,
it, you add a flip effect monster. He's a man-eater bug. Plus, if you discard it, or if it goes from the hand to the graveyard, you get a flip effect monster back.
Well, okay, so what?
I accept.
Guru?
Let's bring that shit back.
Yeah,
It's at
what?
1. It's at 1.
Bring
No.
that shit back.
Wait,
Put it at 3.
I don't see it. It could come back. Archfiend.
I'm surprised Archfiend didn't get addressed. With the Infernity support.
It's because you can get any Infinity card. If it was just a monster.
No, I think Archfiend did 2 at least.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Tommy, you're the only one that would remember the Gishki guy that's limited there.
Honestly, Metal Dragon could come back since the Illetta.
Oh yeah, Mind August. Mind August is the one that looks at, I think it's 2 cards from your opponent's hand at random, and you choose one of those and they discard it. So it's just it's a way to loop. And honestly,
What card?
it doesn't even seem like it's that
The ritual.
effective a way to loop. I'm pretty sure that's the correct one. Nope, I was wrong. Oh, the one that does the hand loop, I actually think is unlimited right now, and it's just still not doing anything.
Right. Gazelle.
Honestly, that Mind August might not be the worst thing to bring back.
Gazelle needs to stay at 1. Servant needs to stay at 1. A Speedroid is just an extender. It's fine at 1. Tempest could probably go to 2 because it's not seeing use. Rapier can stay at 1.
I mean, Tempest was played in Dragon Links.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it is anymore.
No, it's not.
The Gem Knight could probably come off because Brilliant Fusion is banned. Rusty can stay at 3 or stay at 1. He cannot go to 3 at all.
Rusty?
Yeah.
Why? I can see him.
Librarian needs to stay at 1. Trish can stay at 1. I don't know why Delore
Omega can get banned.
Omega probably could get banned. It'd be all right.
Honestly, like, why is Omega only at 1? Bring it to 2.
No.
Like, it's not even that bad. I mean, yeah, okay, never mind. Never mind.
I was getting ready to say you want to hit Smoke Grenade, but put Omega at 2.
Well, I mean, Omega at least is random.
Emerald could go. Emerald could go to 2.
Multiple out in 1 turn, because he's not once per turn, is he? Yeah, no, he's not.
No, because that's what they do sometimes. Is they will use the DD, like whatever the equip spell is, to bring it back.
Yeah. Beatrice. I can see Emerald coming back.
Yeah, I could go to 2.
Yeah, I think so also. It doesn't seem like it's that oppressive. It wouldn't really do too much. It's very niche right now because level 4 decks that don't just link everything off are not super common.
I'd see it played in 10E.
Right, that's about it, maybe.
Yeah, which is irrelevant.
Hero Lives, it's fine right where it's at. There's no reason to be able to cheat out multiple heroes from the deck the way that the deck runs. Called by Grave.
Know. Well, so Hero Lives, I believe, is only if you have no monsters. So I think you should be able to bring that back to 2. Because like heroes are kind of irrelevant. Like they're not even really fringe right now. So like it'll just give you an extra extender if they manage to wipe your board.
Called by the Grave could come back to 3.
It probably will go to 2.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to bounce it from 3 to 1 back to 3. They're probably going to, if they wanted to change it at all, they're probably going to move it to 2.
Especially if they bring Maxi off, they bring Called by the Grave back.
Get rid of Smoke Grenade and give back Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave. Let's see, everything down to Draco Face Off is fine.
I want to see Chain Strike back. all the way. 3 Chain Strikes.
I'm sure you do. I'd like to see Diagram come back, but it's not going to stay because of Lithosagem and Dinosaur. Emergency Teleport's fine where it is. Tommy, Final Countdown should get banned.
Final Countdown should be at 3. Let's be real.
No, not at all. Gateway, I'm glad that that's limited. We don't need super extension. Feather Duster's fine. Infernity Launcher is good at 1. There's no reason for it to be any more. And Into the Void is fine where it is because it doesn't. We don't need more draw power. Magical Midbreaker Field could probably come off for that protection, but at the same time, that is a very oppressive protection. Mind
All right, so
Control.
here's what I'm just going to put this out there. Final countdown back to 3. 1 day of peace back to 3.
I'm fine with 1 day of peace coming back.
I don't know. That's a free draw pack. It's a free draw card.
Scapegoats can come back. They can just take that off. Yeah,
No.
it's
Too many degenerate link plays.
yeah. If they survive long enough, I guess.
Turn
People
1.
don't- you can't do it turn 1 because you can't summon this thing turn you activate.
Oh, true.
Yeah, but you would activate it. Basically, it would be something that you set it, you activate it during your opponent's turn, and then you can just do ridiculous link plays.
People don't do it now, so why would they?
That's true.
All right. So starting off, we were at Scapegoat. So Secta's Light could probably it's good where it is. I don't.
Jones can stay there. Marty will.
Yeah, Monty Roll's probably good to stay where it is.
If they just do a hard once per turn, or edit it to hard once per turn, it could come off.
Hornet drones, it's fine where it is. Last draw is good because it opened up for OTK stuff. Don't really care about Spiral Resort, Symbol of Heritage.
All right, let's bring
Terraforming.
Upstart back to 2. Let's make some 38 card decks.
I felt that Trickstar Light Stage could be a little bit more off the list, but with Ver Anaconda, it's if they ban Anaconda, Trickstar Light Stage could come.
No, let's be real right now. It's not hard to make Anaconda. All right, there's so many different ways to make it. It's not a big deal.
It's just 2 generic effect monsters.
So like Light Stage, we shouldn't be hindering Light Stage just based off Anaconda.
Light Stage
because
is a one
what's
card
it called?
Anaconda.
So is that DDD Snake Girl, the Naga. Like that's a 1 card Anaconda, and people don't even run that.
Well, DDD hasn't been a recent tier deck the way Trickstar
But
was.
Life Stage was.
Well, but the thing is, what you're trying to say is that Light Stage will enable 1 card Dragoon decks or like Dragoon combos in any deck. Like that's just something you could splash. The same thing with the DDDs.
Well, the Trickstar itself also
So
had
like, I don't think
Trickstar itself also had a hand loop
Life
regardless
Stage
of your
was
hand
because
size.
of that. It was a
no,
damage.
and
it
that's
was
fine. Like I
it
understand.
just burns you too fast.
It was
I understand if you want to keep it banned because you don't want to see Trickstars,
well,
but
it's
don't
limited.
blame Anaconda for the Light Stage.
It-
Or limited. Like if you don't want it back at 3, then I would say that's not because of Dragoon. It would be because you don't want to see full power Trickstars.
I think
Which is
Terraforming
fine.
would go to 2. Terraforming to 2 would be fine. It was at 2 a couple of formats ago.
I mean, do you really want to see more Mystic Mine?
They have Metaverse and set rotation. There's enough ways to get.
Metaverse is at 1.
Yeah, but between
Yeah, but they're running all of those.
Yeah.
So
I just want to be able to get.
Metaverse-
I want to be able to get Zombie Roll without burning through a Necroworld Banshee.
I mean, you already have 3 Zombie Worlds and a
Demise of the
Terraform.
Land.
Right. So Imperial Order is probably good where it is. Macrocosmos, which is a terrible card, and should
There
forever.
should be 3 Macrocosmos. And let's
No.
be real.
You take that back and shut your whole mouth.
All the macros, 3 defissures, 3 macros, everything that vanishes.
No.
That should be banned. Yes.
No, that card's probably fine where it is.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough.
While
it-
feeling light. That could come off.
Yeah, I don't know why it's limited, but so
Who knows?
I would say Drew King's Return could go to 2 if Dynamite stays on. but True King's Return could probably be elevated off the list. Let's see. The Burning, going to the semi-limit list, the Burning Abyss stuff's not really making any kind of headway. It could probably go to 3 and wouldn't hurt anyone. Same with ABC and
Honestly,
Totally Awesome.
just get rid of
The semi-limit.
get rid of a semi-limited.
Yeah, that's
Honestly, I think that we can just get rid of all of it except for malicious. I don't think malicious should be at 3.
It wasn't even that bad at 3.
I do not think it should be at 3. There's just too much that you can abuse with it.
It wasn't that bad last when it was that 3. And this was the hand loop you was talking about.
Yeah, that was the hand loop one. It's irrelevant right now.
So,
because pulling 3 cards out of your opponent's hand is.
Now that we've gone through the active list, let's go ahead and talk about things that we should think get addressed on this upcoming list. Anything that you guys off the top of your head think should get banned outside of Red Reboot? Kyle, cough.
Smoke Grenade, Omega.
See, I don't think Omega's
You
going to get hit.
Omega should get banned?
I don't think it will because you got to get it on board and it's a random and you don't get the card knowledge of being able to look at your opponent's hand. I don't think it's going to get banned.
Yeah, I think it's very unlikely that they're going to hit that.
Smoke Grenade probably, especially with the reprint and the ease of access, it's probably gone.
Buster Whelp.
Oh yeah, Buster Whelp. I forgot to include that in my list. That is probably going to get banned. Hopefully,
guaranteed.
That's just ridiculously oppressive. Like Dragon Link is the main one to use it, but I have seen a few other decks use it. Like I think PK Fire I've seen using it.
Anything that can put Unit KO on the board will use it.
Right. As long as they have a dark and or dragon.
Yeah, and it's a little bit too oppressive. Like it's not needed. It's just it stops you from being able to even attempt to come back.
So they're not going to hit the Dragoonity part of the Dragon Link deck because of the support that's going to be coming out. What about the rocket?
I don't think they need to hit the.
What about the small rocket engine in Dragon Link?
I don't think either one of those are the problem. Like, so the small
LP
engines inside are not a big deal.
LP will probably get hit.
Yeah, right. LP's a big one. Being able to grab it from the deck is just too much. Like being able to grab your Brotar or your Red Eyes Darkness Metal or whatever you need out of the deck just to like finish off the combo is a little bit too much. So I think LP will get hit.
I think Quick Launch will probably go to 1.
See, I don't really think that that's that big of a problem. Like, if you get rid of Quick Launch, they're just going to, like, if you look at like the 40 card Dragon Link compared to like the 60 card, the only real difference is that the 60 card has like 20 more extenders essentially. So if you get rid of Quick Launches, you're just going to have them put in the next best extender into it, which isn't really going to hurt the deck that much.
I don't believe
all you need to do is hinder their inboard a little bit more. So like LP and Link Ross getting rid of those, along with the Buster Whelp, would make the deck a lot more fair.
I don't believe Quick Launch is a hard once per turn, so you can essentially open any form of that combo you want and play through interruptions. But when we're looking at the Infernoble side of the tier list, outside of Smoke Grenade, I don't know, maybe ban.
Because Eldland can go to 1.
Before we get there, let's just going at Infernoble. Maybe Phoenix Blade could get banned. It'd slow that deck down a lot.
I doubt that's going to get.
Not that
honestly. If you get rid of Smoke Grenade, I think that
Smoke
removes
Grenade,
a lot of the issue.
And Link Cross.
Yeah, if you hit Link Ross, like you're going to hit a lot of smaller combo decks also.
But it's going to hit Link.
But yeah, it's going to hit Dragon Link. It's going to hit Infernoble pretty hard. Like it's definitely going to change what their combo is. And if you get rid of Smoke Grenade, you get rid of a big problem with Infernoble because a lot of the boards they build are not that hard to break. If you're sighting in properly, they're not that hard to break until they use 1 or maybe even 2 smoke grenades on you and take the cards that are in your hand to break their board. Like that's what makes it oppressive is the fact that they can look in like, oh, you have a Dark Ruler no more in hand. I'm going to take that. Like that's the real problem with Infernoble.
Right. So going to the Eldritch package, Kyle, you think Cursed Eldland needs to be addressed?
Yeah, just put it to 1.
I don't think that would be as much of a problem.
That or
Sanguine.
Or the Eldritch monster itself.
No, he's not really that big of an issue because he targets. If you hit the Scarlet elixir, the sanguine. Um, that would probably correct a lot of issues with that deck too.
So I don't know how big of a threat Eldritch actually is right now. Like you see it as a combo with certain things like Zodiac being the biggest one right now. But honestly, it was falling off before Zodiac, like because it was just a little bit on the slow side. Like, yeah, it can grind you out, but for the most part, it just gets easily overwhelmed. That being said, if they do hit like Link Cross and stuff to slow down the Dragon Link and the Infernoble, uh, you it might see a resurgence, like just some sort of variance of Eldritch. Um, I'm not really sure though, like if it's big enough that we should hit it at all. Like,
Right.
because if you hit Scarlet, then they're just going to be running more of the Black Lightning ones or whatever it's called.
But the white lightning doesn't cheat it out from the deck, and it's not
No,
because that,
Black Lightning does.
yeah, but you can on your turn set the Scarlet from the deck basically just by going through the Cursed Outland Blaze and set it up to where you don't even need to end with Golden Lord on the board. You can use Cursed Outland, search for whatever you need to, get rid of the Golden Lord, get rid of the Outland, and set up with your follow up plays. I just think if you put Sinkwing to 1 or ban it and maybe put Cursed Outland to 2, it'll put that deck in check if you do hit the heavy combo pieces in Dragon Link or Infernoble. You kind of level out that deck in preparation for what's to come. But with that being said, if they kill Dragon Link and kill Infernoble, I'm going to be playing Guru. Also killing Dinosaur, because Dinosaur has to be addressed. You put Oviraptor to 1 or ban Misk, it'll put that deck in check.
Yeah, I don't think we should ban Mist. Like, we don't want to kill the deck. We just want to like limit it, so like hinder the consistency of it being able to dump a miscellaneous source. And like, oh well, you can't do anything this turn, really.
I mean, even if you
Well,
put
it's
it
not
out,
that hard to get around.
yeah, you just gotta wait till the next phase. Especially
Who
with
does DD Crow him?
it doesn't stop the protection effect.
No, but stop you from bringing out animal stores or whatever.
Right. Anything else in the dinosaur deck that you think needs to be addressed? Maybe Fossil Dig, because it's pretty much generic, and there's no limitation to it. And
Honestly, I don't think that that's really as big of a deal.
maybe put.
I feel like hitting Mist of 1 would be a good starting point.
Yeah. Looking else at more common high played decks, do you think that anything in the invoked engine needs to be addressed?
Honestly, I don't think so. You think Mechaba? Like, what do you want to do with it?
He's the most annoying one.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't really do that much. He's a 1 Omni negate per turn. Like that's and it discards a card as a cost for that. Like,
unless you have multiples out.
Sure, but
he's
that's worse than a Savage Dragon, though. No, he's not.
Oh,
but it's a little bit harder to summon 2 of them, and honestly, you have to have the correct type of card in hand. Like, he's a worse Savage Dragon. Like, if you want to ban him, get rid of Savage Dragon.
I think what can be done for that deck is to limit Magical Meltdown to 1.
The deck's not even oppressive. Like, I personally don't think there should be anything in the engine hit. There's no reason to.
No, it's
not like it's topping constantly. It hasn't even been topping very much. Like,
let's look at it in a manner of, everything that we're discussing. If we're hitting stuff in Dragon Link and we're hitting stuff in Infernoble and we're hitting stuff possibly in Eldritch, what the ramifications are for that. So if we see those and Dinosaur, if we see those decks gone, what's gonna fill its place in the power vacuum?
So this Rihan deck, or whatever his name is pronounced, so he plays top 16, right? So he lost out in the top 16.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the representation? Was there one invoked dog deck in the top 16?
I can't find the actual
breakdown,
because if that's the case, like, that's not a basis for banning a deck, like any cards in a deck. Like, if you're receiving like one topping, like top 8ing top 16,
I'm saying you need to hit Dogmatica.
Now maybe Dogmatica.
You go hit the level 4.
Well,
Or Nadir
OCG
Servant.
Nadir Servant 100% would be the hit if you're going to hit anything.
OCG has
100%
Nadir.
Nadir Servant.
OCG has Nadir and Ecclesia too.
Personally, right now, I don't think it's worth hitting them. Like, it's not really like it might become a better deck. Like, if Dragon Link and stuff, if those get hit, you might see a surgence of that. But I don't really think that's too much of a problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would be kind of surprised to see Invoke Dogmatica hit.
Well, I'm thinking of it in the sense of what's going to fill the power vacuum. Zodiac's going to be right up there, but Zodiac is not going to be in a spot to dominate if the degenerate part. Yep. If the degenerate parts of the of Infernoble and Dragon Link and Dinosaur, if those things are taken away, something's got to fill that void. And as it stands right now, Virtual World is good at spamming cards, plus they have a built-in Macrocosmos, and I don't know if True King of All Calamities is going to get addressed. I think checking Eldritch and checking Invoked would be a smart thing to do.
Don't matter. You check that, and then both those decks will slow down.
Well, Invoked Eldritch was a thing before the Dogmatica cards had come out.
But it wasn't very represented.
I mean, it's still not very represented, honestly. Like, any variants of it, they're good. They're playable for sure. But they're not heavily represented right now.
Right. What's your take on True King of All Calamities?
Well, for me, I think it does need hit. I don't think it should be banned, and I don't think they will ban it. That's very up in the air. I could be very wrong on that. I think they're going to limit it to one, because the main deck that abuses it is Virtual World. Also, depending on how good Drytron ends up being in the meta, that can abuse it too. But they only run one. The big deal is Virtual World can double calamities. Either they can end on double calamities or they can end on one calamity, and then if you try to Nibiru it or something, then they can just continue the play and go into their second calamities before ending their turn, which I will admit can be pretty oppressive.
Right.
So if they hit calamities down to one, it's possible for Virtual World to recycle it by banishing it with like Shin Shin and then cycling it back into the deck with the Yin Yin. So you can still use multiple calamities, but you have to jump through a lot more hoops than just turn one, I have double calamities on field. So let's see what you can do.
Right. So, it sounds like we've addressed what our thoughts are on the list. Things that need to be put in the check are Infernoble with Smoke Grenade. That seems to be the only consistent thing that we want to get checked with is Smoke Grenade, Link Cross, and possibly Halqifibrax.
Don't forget Alpi. Alpi needs to be banned.
Well, that's going into the Dragon Link side. Halqifibrax, Link Cross. One thing we didn't even talk about. What about Martial Metal Marcher?
I don't think that's as big of a deal.
He's not that big. If Link Cross is bad, he's not that big of a deal.
Like, it just has specific summoning requirements. Like, you have to be running something. So, yeah, so if either Link Cross or Hulk get hit, it's not that big of a deal. Like, maybe, because last time everybody seemed to think that one of those two was going to get hit, and instead they decided to hit some of the tuner targets. Maybe they want to do a roundabout thing and hit Martial Metal Marcher instead of Link Cross or Halqifibrax. And, like, that is possible. Like, with the trend that it's been going, they might just try to do that. But I think that while it will hinder the combos, I don't think it'll necessarily stop them.
Right. Also, something that should possibly get addressed is Deskbot 001. It might be a good idea to ban that card outright.
Well, if Link Ross gets hit, it becomes a lot less likely that you can abuse it, because the thing about that is, like, you go from Link Ross and Halqifibrax, basically Halqifibrax and Link Ross, and then you have your Martial Metal Marcher, and it's a lot easier to go with two machines. It's a lot easier to get those two machines on board to be able to summon your the Mecha Phantom Beast Link monster.
Well, at that point, any monster plus a tuner is Mecha Phantom Beast and Herald, because you can just go into Halqifibrax, get your tuner, make Auroradon, and start that stuff. So I think addressing the desk bot would be a good idea.
I don't know. Like, yes, it is abusable. I will admit, but I don't know how I feel. Like, if the other things are hit, so like say smoke grenade and link rolls, if they're both gone, I don't really think the despot is quite as bad. Like you have to like it only works with certain interactions. Certain cards work together with it, and that's kind. It's not as oppressive. Like it's not as big of a deal in my mind.
Well, are you on the bandwagon of banning Halka Fibrax?
Not really. I think Halka is fine. Honestly, I don't even mind Link Ross that much. Like at first, I was really opposed to having both of them, but I just like how it opens up the chance for more rogue decks to actually be able to come in and run a Halka and Link Ross combo to be able to link climb, and I just kind of like that.
Hmm.
Like I've been playing with the Drytron deck recently, and it's part of the Herald into VFD combo, and I just kind of really like that. Like I just like the fact that you can take all these level 1 monsters and turn them into a VFD essentially. And like, and maybe that's wrong of me. Like maybe that's a dick thing, but I just kind of like that.
Oh no! Look, I'm Tommy. I'm gonna be playing control.
Oh,
Well,
if I very well might. If those cards are cheap, I am definitely picking up the deck. Like I'm gonna pick up the Drytron deck for sure. Because there's two variants right now, and basically it's drop the Herald, drop the VFD, or it's the turn skip combo with the trap card. I don't remember the name of it, and the ritual monster. Because the ritual monster basically says they skip their main phase one, and the trap card says at the end of their battle phase it goes to the end phase or the end of the turn. So essentially, with those two cards, and the trap card is searchable using Beatrice. So with those two cards, you can actually just turn skip your opponent and OTK him for the next turn.
all right. So I think it's safe to wrap up there, man. There you guys have it. We've got this Discord pile opened up. We've addressed some of the things that we were going to talk about. Do you guys have any farewell notes?
No, not really.
Anything to add on the topic of the ban list, Kyle?
No, I think we said a lot.
Yeah, we said quite a bit. All right, guys. We appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. Anything else you'd like us to talk about? Throw it in the comments. In the about section of the channel is our social media and our email address. So get a hold of us with anything that you might need to get a hold of us for. One thing that we would like to see, if you guys have some EDO replays that you want to send us, that you want to see in the background of the Discord pile, shoot us to them in an email. If we like them, we'll throw them up there. We'll give you guys credit for it. So, again, Tim, Tommy, and Kyle with those one guys 758 saying thanks for hanging out with us.